Welcome to Real Estate Defined, the art of real estate, the podcast where we break down the market, the money, and things that really matter in real estate.
Join Dr. Briley and myself, Easton Tony, here each week while we're unlocking real conversations, real strategy, and real insight so we can buy smarter, sell better, and build long-term wealth. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. We are back for another week. We have an exciting guest on here today. I'm super excited today. You know, as we move into this year, first quarter, everything is moving really fast. Like, it's transitioning, really fast. We went through January, we went through February, and it's just moving. So the time is of the essence. So if you're looking to purchase a home, get your life in order when it comes to estate planning. And we have a special guest on here today to talk about those kind of things because those things are very important in life. You don't want to wait until the end. But with further ado, I want to say thank you again for all of the views that we've had. You know, y'all, we started this, y'all, Texas, Louisiana girl here, y'all. We started, say it again, we started this podcast April 1st of last year, and we are so super excited. As most of the clips I say on there, that thank you again for supporting us, watching us, let us be in your home, letting us be, everywhere that you watch us, whether it's on the phone. You can also listen to us in the car on Apple Podcasts, on the Apple Cast now, and just audiobooks. Audiobooks, you can listen to us on
all
there.
the streaming sites.
All the streaming sites. So we want to say thank you because if it wasn't for y'all looking at us and watching us and our numbers growing, we wouldn't be here. No, we would still be here. We will be still doing this because this is our livelihood. Real estate is everything to us. As you know, my name is Dr. Briley.
And Easton Tony.
And who's the special guest today?
I'm Deonee. Hi, Easton. I'm happy to be here today.
Yes, so she's going to give us a lot of great insight, a lot of good information. She's going to tell us her title, where she's located, and everything. So we're not going to leave this show without you getting her contact information because I'm a firm believer in getting your legacy together. So before we really get deep, how many views do we have? How many? I know.
Oh, I can't roll my R's. That's the one thing.
Yeah, that's a new thing. What? How many views?
293,000.
That's good.
That's good.
Super good.
Yep.
That's amazing.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
You're not getting there. You're there. You're there. Keep crawling.
I know. Keep going. So, and like I've always said in the last couple of episodes that we have, we're in season 2 now. So we're in season 2, and we do now sell ad spaces for people that looking to advertise in our clips, since we do have so many viewers now, and we have viewers from all around the world. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how YouTube allows us to actually see everywhere around the world people are viewing us. So thank you again. We really appreciate it. Now let's get into our funny stories.
Okay.
So
start us off, Dr.
I'm gonna start it off.
She jumps ahead of me always and says,
yeah.
Austin, let's hear it.
I'm gonna start it off. So today, for the last 2 days, well, I'm always a walker. I've always been walking. Like that's, I love to eat. I love wine. Everybody knows that. And so with that and getting, when you're past a certain age, I'm more of a seasoned woman. You need to walk, exercise, do something, right? The way you ate in your 20s, you could eat that and nothing happens. Then you get in your 30s, then you get in your 40s, then you get in your 50s. Things start changing, right? So I've been walking, and so today I saw my little friend from the day before that I videotaped that I put on my Facebook page, a river rat. And a river is, so if you don't know what, and they're called something else too. I can't
remember.
I think that's the appropriate name. Yeah.
And so they're about this big around. I mean, kind of like a cat, kind of like a little,
cat.
A thick kind of. What was those big cats called? The ones that's like Garfield.
I was gonna say let's just call it a raccoon. I mean that's basically what it is.
It's pretty big, long tail, and so it was like walking on the trail. And so I decided to whip out my camera, start videotaping it. It kept coming closer and closer. So I back up a little bit. And I guess it didn't like my presence, kind of. And I didn't know the hiss. And so it kind of got up and got shh. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's time to go.
Traumatizing.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Is that really how you responded? You didn't get after him?
No.
You listen to me, little rat.
Yeah. Wrestling him down. No, he's like got up and kind of like. I was like, okay, it's time.
Yeah, no.
I think he wants me out of his space. So yeah, and then he even walked on the trail a little bit with.
He followed you?
No, not me. It was another walker, and he was like, oh, he's good. He's always, and they just walked on.
Not he's good.
Yeah, he's
Did they
good.
name it too?
I don't know, but obviously they had a relationship that they knew each other. Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, he's good," and they walked off. So I was like, "Okay." Well.
Starts petting him.
Well, he did get on his knee. I did see him get on his knee, so maybe he does.
The rat.
Him.
Oh, the rat got on its knee.
No, the main.
I was like, the rat has.
Roles have been changed. The rat proposed.
I mean, you don't know. I mean,
Jumped
okay.
on his hind legs.
He did. The man got on his knee, but I don't know what he was doing. He might have was like feeding him something.
Oh gosh.
But I guess he was pretty friendly. I don't know. I did my little thing. I got my little clip for my Facebook page and my viewers, and then I went on by my business. What about you?
No thanks. Well, I just moved, and so I'm in brand new construction of townhomes. And my first night there, it was storming a few weeks ago. And first night there, I'm sitting in there, and water just starts pouring out all the lights in the bedroom. So I have one of my old beds in the extra bedroom because I have a new bed coming. So thankfully, my new bed wasn't in there. But yeah, I heard this like pouring sound coming out of the bedroom. I thought it was in my bathroom.
How did that happen?
Not thinking that water was coming through the light fixtures. So I run in there with the tub. But yeah, anyways.
That's a new place, though.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Don't say the name.
But warranty is covering everything.
Oh, that's
so we're
good.
all good.
That's
better
good.
be.
Yeah.
Oh,
I called them in the middle of the night. They didn't answer, obviously. But the next morning, I said, hey. And they're like, we were reading through everything right now. And I said, don't worry, I'm not mad. Didn't get on anything but clothes, so I can wash those. And I have tubs everywhere. But
I mean, it washed your clothes for you. I mean,
yeah,
did you really
sure,
need
with
something?
the brown water coming through them. But it was good. It's all
A
good.
different kind of
And I
fragrance
said,
on
I'm
your
around.
clothes.
Yeah. I'm around new builds all the time.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
And
Because
they're
that
like,
happens a lot.
You're
in new
so
builds.
nice.
I'm glad
I'm
you're
like,
being
yeah.
so kind because
Yeah.
you know.
But
You understand.
You owe me.
Usually
But-
that and windows. Like on new
Right.
builds, sometimes when we have a gust of wind and the window can blow in and stuff.
Right.
So.
Well, that's what I was telling my neighbors, and they were like, heck no, we would have lost it. And I'm like,
Right.
no. I mean, they're humans that build these
Right.
things.
Right.
They forget one area of caulking, and water can get to
Right.
that. So, but they will be fixing it immediately. Immediately.
Point taken.
Yeah.
you
Do you
will be
hear
fixing
me?
it. No, that's pretty cool though.
No.
So do you like the place?
I love it. Yeah.
It's funny how I didn't even get invited over, y'all.
Yep.
So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Well, we've been underwater, so we're currently under construction still.
Yeah. No. Take your time. Take your time. I'm busy anyway. So what do you have for us today? Anything?
It's funny, but it's also traumatizing at the same time. But it seems like that's what's the theme today, right?
Exactly.
That's the theme. It's a little bit of trauma. I'm terrified of dogs. Okay. Since I've been in Texas, I've been attacked more often than I want to be, more often than I would like. Normally, I used to love dogs. Now it's just all trauma. Okay. On my way here, I left my home, and there was one of my neighbor's dogs that was just out and about. And so I slipped behind the car, opened up the back seat, and slithered my way to the front. And then
What kind of dog is that? What kind of dog?
that one was a German Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
And
They're pretty nice though too. But I get it.
I don't know the temperament of dogs.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah, that's not a thing for me. That's not a thing for me, you know?
I get it.
And then when I approached being here, there were two dogs roaming the way.
Yes.
And I said, oh no.
Again.
I just slithered away from one. I can't do another two. So here we are. So,
Yeah.
it funny because my came back, but I'm good now.
Yep.
You guys came and
Now,
saved
you
me.
said that you've had dogs. What kind of dog have you had?
I had a miniature pinscher.
Oh, okay.
So cute. She was so cute. But I have a trauma story around that because I had my dog. She was a gift from my grandfather before he died. So that's going to tie into kind of how I started my journey today.
Okay.
But I grew up in the hood, and there was a drug dealer that was in the backyard. And so all of his customers used to come in my backyard. So when my family and I went away on vacation, one of his clients ended up murdering my dog. So so it was trauma. So dogs are trauma for me. And then I had another dog. He was a Morkie, super cute. He's still alive. No one's hurt him, so we're good. But he's living in Michigan. I rehomed him to be with someone who needed him a little bit more than I did. So
because you're in Texas now.
I am in Texas now.
So we have an attorney in Texas that does estate planning, right?
Yes, estate planning, probate, and guardianship, all the things.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today, y'all. We're going to be talking about all these things because people don't realize how, like, it's so super important, and people want to talk about it after death.
Right.
Yep.
Like, after somebody's gone. It's like, oh, by the way, does anybody know an attorney?
Right.
You know, and I laugh about it, but in an instance, it is kind of sad because a lot of people think mentally like they don't have the money. You're gonna have to make do with the money sometimes in some kind of form or fashion. Mm-hmm. It's better to do it while people are living than when people are dead because it takes a lot more to get it straightened out when a person is dead. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people live and say, you know what, I don't have that type of money yet before, just to even think about that. Right. I don't even want to think. And a lot of people don't want to talk about death.
They don't.
They don't.
They really don't.
They don't want to talk about death. And I think for me, what I've learned being in different places and just traveling, Texas is really bad in not wanting to talk about death. To me, I think Texas people. Thing. It's a Southern thing. Yeah, I think it's like you talk about it, but then you don't want to talk about it too much. Then you're like, well, is Bubba trying to kill me?
Yeah. And that's why we have a Slayer statue.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes. Like, wait a minute. So
where do those golf clubs go after you're gone?
Right. So I think that it's almost like sometimes a taboo because different cultures too. Mm-hmm. Some cultures are very good at talking about estate planning, and some cultures are absolutely not. It's like, look, we'll just deal with it and do a GoFundMe. We'll deal with it when it comes, and that can really, what I've seen in the last maybe 7 years now, is it's like the sandwich effect. You have your baby boomers in a situation where they're older. You have people that are in their like 51, 52, and they're taking care of their adult kids that's in their 20s, and then they're taking care of their parents, and they're trying to still work, and they're in like this sandwich because
got two sets of kids.
Because what is it? The old saying, twice a child, once an adult, because you go back to baby stages once you get older again and need somebody to help you. Mm-hmm. So. Okay, well, I'll let you kick it off, Austin, with some questions, and then
Well, I love this because we've been dealing with this lately on some clients that we've had.
A lot of clients. Yeah.
It happens way more than it should. So I'm really excited to be here and help educate people about how we can prevent it, because the more we talk about it, the better it's going to be for everybody involved, including the people that you lose. So I'm ready. Whenever you're ready. You're up.
Shotgun round. No. I say you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what all you do, what all that entails, break down probates and things like that, which we can get into breaking it down a little bit. But I say, just describe what all you cover. And kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Give a little leeway on.
Well, I guess I should, if I tell you what I cover, I'll tell you what I cover and then how I got here. I feel like that's a really important part for you guys. Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's always good to know more, right? Okay, so Deonee, hi, Easton. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. I had a very, very, very unique journey to becoming an attorney. It's part of my story, so I'm going to share.
Good.
But essentially, I ended up in college at George Washington University in D.C.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
pretty much everywhere. Just wait till I tell you more. So I was out there. I got my major in criminal justice and a minor in psychology. I wanted to be a forensic scientist. I didn't even want to be an attorney. My whole life. I was like, I'm not going to be an attorney. Who wants to be an attorney? Who wants that? No. I didn't. That's the funny thing. I ended up here, but I wasn't supposed to get here. Well, God knew I was going to be here. But at the end of the day, the economy was really bad when I graduated. And so I told my family, I said, I'm going to apply to places all throughout the country. And the very first job I get, no matter what it is, I'm going to take it. My mom was like, are you okay? I said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm great. So my job was actually becoming a social worker in Tucson, Arizona. So I picked up my life and I moved to Tucson, Arizona. And that's when I discovered how important the law truly was. And I said, oh, no. I need to go to law school so I can try to make a difference.
Wow.
So I was a social worker. I was helping all these children outside the courtroom. I realized the courtroom was where everything mattered, and I was speaking when I wasn't supposed to. And so the judges were like, okay, Dee, I think you should go to law school. And I said, oh, I guess I can, huh? So that's kind of how I started my journey. And I decided that I wanted to kind of help families, right? Because the family dynamic is where everything happens. That's where kids are growing up. That's where your cultures get brought in, the value system of who you are, everything it starts with the family. And so I ended up at Michigan State University College of Law, studied, and I was like, I'm going to be a family law attorney. That's what I'm going to do. While I was in law school, I took a trust and estates class, and I loved it. But I said, you know what? I still got to stick true to what I'm going to do because that's important. Over the course of time, life hit me. I ended up losing a lot of people over a short period of time. I lost a friend of mine, the mom. She died about 3 to 4 months before I had graduated. My mom had gotten sick. My sister got sick while I was trying to study for the bar. Unexplained illnesses that didn't really make any sense, but they got better. And then I lost a friend of mine who had an unexpected death, and it was his mother who died 6 months. So his mom died, and then he died 6 months later. So I had to help and be a part of that process in trying to do that. And then fast forward 6 months later, my other best friend's father, who was at the first funerals that I just described, he died. And then after that, my grandfather died. So I really understood what it was like to grieve and go through life, right? And when people have to do that, you can't function, right? You suffer from a whole bunch of depression, a whole bunch of issues, you're grieving, it's a lot. So I felt like God prepared me for what I'm doing now, because at the time I didn't understand it. So it took me a long time to become a lawyer just because I was trying to learn how to live and study for the bar. So I was really resentful and I had a lot of problems about it. But once I finally passed, because thankfully no one had died after that point, I said, you know what? I'm going to just keep doing what I want to do, like help with families. And so my first job was being an estate planning attorney. I did estate planning, probate, and guardianship and real estate. And I was like, this is great, but I didn't sign up to do this. I needed to help families because I also am a woman of my word. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, even if it takes me a little longer to do it. So I went back to doing family law. I was doing divorce, modifications, custody, child support, all the things that you can think of involving a family. And it was great. I felt like I was making an impact, but I found the pull back to estate planning and helping people through the process because I lived it and I couldn't do both. Like I found myself, this was too important to make sure that people had their affairs in order before they became incapacitated or before they died. And I said, you know what? I can't be over here fighting over who's going to put something in a mailbox. I don't care. My client just died last week. You know what I'm saying? It's non-negotiable for me. So I ended up doing all the areas of law at one point and decided, you know what, I'm just going to full-time set my sights on doing estate planning. So I do wills and trusts. I do probate. So everyone that's passed away, I help them transfer assets, and I'll explain like what probate is in a little bit. But and then guardianship. So people become incapacitated, us going to the court and getting the proper authority to help them through that process. So that became my full-time focus, and I started my own law firm. I've been officially open for a year. I'm super excited about it. Thank you. Easton Law Firm in the Woodlands, Texas. I mean, I'm so happy. But I found myself wanting to do a lot more than I was able to working for other people. And so now I take a very well-rounded approach. So I say all that to say, and I'm circling all the way back to say, when I became a social worker, I wanted to help people. And I wanted to protect children, and I wanted to protect families. And so now I'm doing it in a different way, and I'm helping them through grief. Because the idea is that if we can help families through grief before things even get worse, they'll be better off because it won't lead to, trauma that happens later on. And when people don't have their affairs in order, that's when conflict happens, that's when confusion happens, that's when people are, I don't have any money, what am I supposed to do? And to be stuck in that while you're grieving, it brings out the worst in people. So,
and it also brings out mental health.
It does.
A lot of people don't realize they had maybe been borderline on a mental health issue, and then when somebody dies, that trauma, and then trying to deal with it, and then trying to be a supportive agent to the rest of the family members can break you. it can really break you mentally, and then you have a mental health issue.
Exactly. And it's, I felt like everything I went through was preparing me for this moment. So when I approach things with my clients, I think about it in the perspective of what they would feel.
Right.
Because I lived it.
Yep.
My grandfather, when he died, he tried to live long enough until I became an attorney, and he had nothing in place. My mom has 6 brothers and sisters. Not everyone is going to get along.
Right.
And when you don't have a will in place,
Right.
the default law of that state is going to dictate, but that might not be what the wishes of the person was supposed to be.
Right.
So it just causes more confusion and time and money. And we don't want families having to go through the court, because my goal always with all my clients is I want to keep as much money in the estate as possible. Why would I want you? I mean, attorneys, do we like money? Of course. But my goal is to come from a different perspective of I want all that money to stay with your family, because that
worked
means
hard for it.
Exactly. And you guys need to be taking care of each other, not fighting each other over what's left over, because no one's communicated anything during that time.
And that fighting costs money.
It does.
It does. And it can actually liquidate a whole
estate.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, you're fighting over what? I mean,
Right.
would you rather fight and then your relationship is ruined, there's nothing left, and you're paying the attorneys everything because you guys are fighting over something that we can avoid that by doing the proper estate planning, right? I do family meetings like that with my clients all the time, because the goal is the more you communicate, as much as it freaks you out, the better it's going to be for not just you, but your family in the long run. It's like the best gift you can give your family is this peace of mind.
Right.
In the probate court, basically is the process by which somebody known as the executor, or if there's no will, basically an administrator here in Texas, goes before the judge and says, this person has died. We need to transfer all of the assets from that person to whoever the beneficiaries of the estate are, regardless of whatever that looks like. That costs money. That takes time. It's a long-winded process because you have to get a lot of people on the same page. And so it's a waste of extra time if there's a way that we can avoid it. So there's ways that we can avoid that for people so they don't have to go through that process.
And I think too that unfortunately the times that we live in, if the archy of like older sibling and this, people don't respect the leadership roles of different people in the family. I mean, if we're going to go biblical, there were like leadership roles, right? And so somebody that's a baby, might not know the history of what happened with the oldest person in the family and what was said to them. Right. So, and they challenge it. It becomes all kind of, I mean, I've seen it with big families. It becomes all kind of craziness. And I think there was a property I couldn't even give to you because it was so much drama.
Right.
And the court said, you know what? We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna sell the property, and then we'll tell you how much we're gonna give you after we pay all the attorneys and stuff.
Right.
What kind of? I mean, if you think that is so dishonorable to the person that worked their life away to give a legacy to a family,
Right.
and the court is saying, no, don't worry about it.
We're not doing all this.
We're gonna sell the property
Yeah.
because I couldn't even get you in as a real estate person.
Right. Well, they weren't paying the taxes. They're all fighting over that.
Right. So they just let the taxes rack up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a mess. And so they called me up and I was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And then the attorney called me. She's like, look, honey, don't even touch that with a 10-foot pole. The judge has already said we're going to liquidate this, and whatever is left, if it's $1, and that's exactly how she told me. If it's $1 they get, it's $1 they get.
Creditors need to get paid.
Yeah.
And the state is one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she said, and this has been going on, I think, like 7 or 8 years.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Sounds about right. The more people that are involved,
Right.
the harder it is to get everyone on the same page to do what needs to be done. And so there are ways to prevent this. It's just a matter of people being willing and able. And a lot of my clients, they'll come because something has happened, right? Like they know it's important. Everyone knows it's important, but it doesn't become a hot button, hot topic, this needs to happen now issue until somebody either becomes incapacitated and they can't make decisions for themselves, or they pass away and they're like, oh my gosh, we should have done this earlier.
Now,
So-
do you run into where there's sometimes, things put into place and they're moving a little too quickly or a little too, as I shift my eyes around y'all, I'm doing backstage stuff too. Like too quickly on moving on like over assets like things over assets?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that happens all the time. It just depends on the nature of the individual and the family dynamic. I got people that'll go super slow, don't do anything. And then I have people who are like, we got to get to the house. And they're rummaging through all this stuff to try and see if they can take everything. There's ways to prevent that.
Okay.
Right? It's just a matter of finding the right person that can advocate for the estate. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't know this, but as an attorney, when I probate cases, yes, I might be representing the executor or the administrator of the estate, which is the person who goes before the judge and says, this person has passed away. There's assets that are here. We need to transfer title over to all of the beneficiaries that are either listed on the will or who the heirs of the estate are, because there is no will. Now, but the attorney represents the estate. We don't represent the person in the capacity if they are a beneficiary. So there's kind of a little bit of a dynamic shift that people have to understand. But yes, there are ways to prevent things from either moving too quickly or taking way too long. Okay. But I do tell people, and I caution people, that they think that this process should be kind of an immediate thing. When you're dealing with the courts, there's no way, because the court's seeing thousands of cases on a regular basis. Right. So you wanting to do something, I mean, obviously there's certain strict timelines we have to adhere to that have to happen first, but it doesn't happen on your time.
Yeah.
So
get in line.
Yeah, exactly. Get in line with, and here's the kicker. We all can't escape death. Right. That's the one thing. I mean, death and taxes. That's that's the things that we can't relate. But it's going to happen to every single one of us. And having a court that's seeing thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people probating because they either have a will or they don't, it makes it really difficult. So that's why it's good to talk to an attorney so we can properly guide people and help them before things happen.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that was a very long-winded answer to your beginning question.
That was yeah. No, that was good. That's the stuff that I feel like people need to be educated, like to do this before. Yeah. I feel like that's the keynote. To do this before.
You know what I've always, and here we go, you know, me and my innovative thinking, but I feel that no matter what state you're in, when you start to acquire and purchase property, an attorney should already be, that should be a part of like the title company. That should already be a part of, now maybe I'm being too micromanaged here.
You're not.
But
You're
I
not.
think that should be a part of, look, somebody's going to run with my ideal pretty soon, but that should be a part of the sale of the house. Like that should be a part of it. If you can somehow put that money in there at that time.
Oh, like creating wills.
As
They
part of the
should
closing?
be- Yeah, like
Oh, that would be amazing. But I tell that to my realtors, like the people that I know that are realtors all the time. I'm like, listen, your clients just purchased this huge asset.
Right.
That's a big deal. They're taking their time, their energy, their money to do this.
Right.
Why not protect it? And then people, there's a misconception here in Texas. I'm about to freak everybody out. But this is normal, right? I'm licensed in Massachusetts and Texas. So the law is very different in every single state. What people don't know, and I'm going to say this out loud.
What I wish I knew at the start. Trusting BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group with our commercial landscaping was the best decision ever. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group has been transforming commercial spaces into green paradises. Our clients can't stop raving about us. Just listen to what they have to say.
First client review. Our property has never looked this good. 5 stars all the way.
Second client review. Professional, reliable, and simply the best in the business. 5-star service.
From lush green lawns to vibrant floral displays, we've got it all covered. Our dedicated team ensures your property not only looks great but stands out.
Third client review. Their attention to detail is incredible. Our landscaping has never been in better hands. 5 stars.
Whether you're a business or an individual, BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group brings expertise, reliability, and a touch of magic to every project. Ready to transform your property? Join the 5-Star Club! Because at BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, we believe every property deserves to shine. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, where properties thrive.
If you own property in multiple states, people have to probate in every single state that you own property. So this is where trusts come into play, right? And we can talk about trusts in a little bit. But as far as Texas is concerned, we are a community property state. People think that just because They are both on the deed of the property,
Right.
that when somebody passes away, it is
Just goes to that.
automatically survive and go to the surviving person on the deed.
No.
In Texas, that is not the case.
Right.
It's not. And people find that out after somebody dies.
Right.
And it's the worst thing, right? Like,
Oh, and I'm working with some people now that's very close to me with this.
it's sad. It's sad. Like, you work so hard for an
Right.
asset that it's hard to get in general.
Right.
You're working with someone and you think, oh, well, don't worry. As long as I'm on the deed, I'm fine. I can. No.
No.
And with blended families, forget
Yes.
it. It creates a whole
Drama.
myriad of issues that are just so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. I had this one person call me and I felt so bad, but she was taking care of all the bills. Her spouse was on the deed. Didn't do anything, didn't pay anything, had estranged children that do not like him, did not speak to him at all. He passed away, and she wanted the title to be in her, the deed to be in her name. I'm so sorry. And there was no will
Right.
to deed the other part. And here in Texas, we have something called a transferred on death deed, which is an amazing mechanism to help people to do what I just described, right? Give it to the surviving owner. There wasn't a transferred on death deed either. So unfortunately, yes, you worked really hard for the duration of your marriage, but unfortunately you cannot
Right.
you cannot inherit the property 100%. It's going to have to be split
And
with
that's why
them.
I'm big on, like, I was married before, married for 20 some years, right? And I'm big on telling people, but that was when I was younger, when you get married. But now as you get seasoned and older, I'm whipping out forms. I'm like, I'm not married again yet, y'all, but I'm just saying.
She's looking.
So I'm just saying that's when you start to make sure you got your paperwork in order, because you realize that marriage, or if you're going to live with someone or whatever you're going to do, it's a business. It's a partnership. It's not some, I like you today and you're cute and you're handsome, and it's really a partnership. And if you don't have your ducks in a row, and like you said, if there's other children, other people, it could get messy. It could get really messy. Quickly.
Very quickly.
I didn't like you anyway.
Right.
Yet my daddy told me he didn't like you.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it can get really messy. So wills versus trust. Like,
Let's talk about it.
yeah, wills versus
Talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. Okay. So a will, I kind of call it the catch-all fail-safe, right? It's the very basic first level of estate planning that you can do. It's a document where you outline what you want your wishes to be on how you want your property to be distributed, right? So I have a house, I want to give it to my daughter. I have another car, I want to give it to my son. Those types of things. It outlines kind of how the debts are going to get paid from the estate and all that stuff. Now, the thing about a will is, I just said, it's a basic first level
Platform.
document. It's better than having nothing. But people don't know that just having a will could require you to go through probate, which is applying to the court. So that process, when you have a will and you file for probate, it's public record. Anybody can look it up. I believe you can look up George W. Bush's, the president, the one that's from here. You can look up his will online, right? And so if people want to keep their stuff private, they don't want to go through the process of having to pay an attorney and dissipate the estate with any type of conflict, all of those things. Go get a will, right? If you want to do that, get a will. But like I said, it's a basic level. If you don't have anything, it's better than nothing.
Right.
There are some circumstances where people don't necessarily have to probate, but that's talking to an attorney and making sure that you have the right kind of plan in place to ensure that your family doesn't have to do that. So that's a will. Public record, very basic document, but you still would be required to go through the court. Okay. A trust, on the other hand, is called a non-probate asset, which means we're not putting it through the court. We are making it so that way this is happening amongst the family. It's completely private. You can tend to helping with blended family situations, any type of complicated things that happen. You don't need to go to through the court. So it's a trust administration. Basically, the trustee is the person who is managing the day-to-day operations of the trust. The person who creates it is known as the grantor, settlor, whatever you want to say. There's different words, but essentially they create the trust. They can do it for the benefit of themselves, so they would be known as the beneficiaries, and they can serve as a trustee during their lifetime. That's a very common revocable living trust that we
And
have.
is that public records too?
It is not. It is not. It makes it completely private. So It's private. You don't have to go through court, and it might cost a little bit more on the upfront fees, but the long-term value is astronomically better than going through the probate court, right?
And the timing.
Exactly, because it can be very quick. You don't have to wait for court deadlines. It's just
Like
a matter
an airplane and a jet. Yeah.
Exactly.
Get on the jet.
Right, and you're still in the air.
Right.
You're still in the air.
And you still got to come down,
Right.
but you're able to kind of do it more efficiently. So that's just a very, very, very basic rundown of that. There are other different types of trusts that are, important. There's advanced tax planning that can happen when it comes to trust and all of that stuff. So there's ways to kind of protect families without having to go through that process. But like I said, I consider myself to be a very well-rounded attorney. Not everyone can afford a trust. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if we can still protect your family so that you don't necessarily have to go through the probate court unless you want to. Some families are like, you know what? I don't trust my A, B, C, D, E, F, G person. I wanted it to go through the court so I know everything gets done correctly. I mean, it's just, and this is where the personal preference comes in. This is where talking to the right attorney that fits your needs and your style and see if they're going to basically protect you and take care of not just you, but the people that you leave behind. It's so important.
Right. And one of the reasons why we had this topic on the show is because real estate, like that is like a lot of what people fight over, not just the money in the bank accounts, but the real estate and what's on the real estate. And, and sometimes people have cattle, people have horses. In Texas, we have a lot of people that have agricultural stuff, and
that was so new to me.
Yeah.
I'm from Boston. I'm from the city, grew up in the city. I had someone, they were like, I got cows. I said, you got what? And then I had to remember where I was. I said, I'm in Texas.
I'm going to leave all 1,000 of these
cows.
I
got 100 of my horses.
I got like chickens outside and a rooster. I'm like, do you want to put names in it? Or is it just what this is?
Right.
So that was a new curveball. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was like, this
but
is
a
different.
lot of people don't realize that, especially in Texas, that's like a huge thing. Like right now, the livestock show and rodeo is here.
It is.
It is here.
Oh my gosh, that was an experience for me too.
You got to go already?
I went for the first time, and my husband and I were sitting there, and we said, "What's happening over here with the sheep?" Like, because we were like, why are there sheep? Because we didn't know what. We didn't know. We were like, what's happening? And we were so enamored by the sheep. And then when we saw what was happening with the sheep, we were like, someone go save the sheep, because we just weren't. And they're like, the kids are going after the sheep.
Yeah, it's a part of the process.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like the opening. That's like a huge.
No, it is.
And they do that all day.
Yeah.
They have a section just for that all day long.
Yeah.
To get
So I got used to drafting estate plans for all the people that have animals, because animals are considered
huge.
they're considered personal property. So
It's huge. And then the churches out here in Texas, we also do blessing of the animals.
there's a blessing of the animals.
Yeah, you can do a drive-through at some of the churches.
You drive through to bless the animals.
Yes,
I'm in.
You never been through a drive-through
never-
church?
I have not.
And people have their like animals and stuff, right? Especially now because of the livestock show and rodeo.
Okay.
We
this
used
is-
to.
It's like
we used
Vegas
to,
for animals.
I was gonna say, is this weird? Do
for animals.
they baptize the
I mean, it really, because you have to remember that in the livestock show and rodeo, you want your animal to win. So if you're a spiritual person and
they pray over
your animal.
Do they sprinkle water on the animal?
I
as
don't
well?
know about that.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering. I'm learning. I mean, this is Texas, you know?
No, but they do. They will pray over your livestock and your animals to be best in show, to just the things that you want your animal to come out, because you have to remember, some of these kids, this is their college.
Yeah,
like this is the money that they make, because their parents might not have the money for college or something. This is their livelihood. And as I'm trying to speak about this, I know that you come from like ranch life and farming life, and
If you'd believe it.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know.
I'm actually on a committee at the Rody too.
Are you really?
So I'll be
yeah,
there
he is.
6 a.m. tomorrow.
Get out.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
I do have to get out.
I'm
just kidding.
Hopefully the animals are, they're okay. But at least as the attorney, I will make sure your animals are protected. Even though I'll be like, what? I will do it.
Yeah.
So that's huge, yeah. Because like I said, in Texas, that's some of the things that we look at.
It is, but real estate being the biggest asset that a lot of
Right.
people do have, to not protect it is just, it's mind-boggling.
Right.
But they don't realize until it's too late. So
Right.
the idea is to not make it too late.
Right.
Right.
And we coach that all the time. Like, this is the biggest purchase that anyone will make in their life.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a little more care into it, and
Right.
think
Right.
about it and prepare it more. Like,
Right.
and worry about it and think about those things.
Right.
So we're pretty good. My whole team's pretty educated on educating their clients because it is such a big deal, and I've gone through it so much. And my family's all in real estate, so my mom's an underwriter. So
Oh, beautiful.
yeah,
That's amazing.
So I have all that background in the title world of focusing on that because I sit next to her every day, hearing all the people come cuss her out about her cousin or their cousin Billy Bob that is saying that he owns their parents' property with them. And come to find out, yeah, that is how it worked. So
It's so
sorry
wild.
to tell you.
It's so wild. And then, like, when people don't do it generationally,
Right.
somebody has to pick up the pieces of what that looks like, right? And
Right.
so you got to find all the heirs of the estate, and people
Yep.
can be dead, and people can be
Right.
gone, and people might not talk to other people.
that adds 10 more people when someone else died.
Then you have to send out a letter and see if anybody's
Yeah.
going to respond back. And
Mm-hmm. It's a whole process. So I think a lot of people get scared and they feel like it's a daunting process. And I know that going through the probate process itself is daunting and it's expensive, but somebody has to do it. And so I always tell people, yes, this might feel like it's a lot, but you're saving yourself so much down the line, and it's the best gift you can give your family because then they don't have to deal with it. Your kids don't have to deal with it.
Right.
But if we keep going with the generations, it's just going to get worse.
right, right, with more things to tack on and think about.
And then if there's children that are under the age of 18, they cannot legally inherit property. So when that happens, it adds an extra layer of things that we have to then tackle and fix and make it so that way that can happen.
Right.
And so it just takes a lot of time and money instead of just being like, I'm afraid to have this conversation, but I always tell my clients and I always tell people that I speak to, just start to have the conversation. Even if you don't know what you want, call somebody up, call an attorney, see if they're willing to talk to you, and that can start to kind of get your brain going a little bit and flowing, where they can ask the right questions, and then you can start to have that conversation.
Right.
Tell the clients all the time, I'm like, if you like a bottle of wine, just talk about death over a bottle of wine. I mean, that sounds a little weird, but, and I'm weird that way, right?
Yeah.
Like the other day,
You're real.
I'm real. I have to be.
Like,
I'm real. I'm transparent.
Right.
My husband and I were driving to church one morning, and I was like, "Do you want to be cremated?" Like out of the blue, like not even, like we weren't even talking about death. I was just like, "You want to be cremated, right?" And he was like, "Wow,
Was this in the middle of a fight?
no."
No, I'm kidding.
But that would have been brilliant. He'd have been like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
I was like, ethically, I'm not allowed to do anything. But yeah, no, just because it has to be
Right.
Yeah.
spoken about, you know. And my family, because now I'm an estate planning and probate attorney, that they started to have a conversation and it came into a whole disagreement, but it was a funny disagreement, right? Like my mom wants to be buried next to my dad, but my dad doesn't want to be buried. So my dad's like, put me on a necklace and wear me around. I'm like, that's creepy. I don't want to do that, you know? And then my mom's like, well, where am I going to visit if something happens to you? And he was like, I don't care. Like I've been with you all my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
This body is tired of you.
No.
So, but it needs to be, you know, spoken. And if you can even laugh about it and talk about it, it's so much better for your families.
Right.
So,
It is because, like I said, it's you know I'm always thinking of innovative things, and there was like this and making it mandatory to put generators on Texas or anything on the Gulf Coast a part of the house build. To me, that I've said that on a show before. So you know I've said that, and I'm saying now with you being here, having it mandatory when you purchase land or purchase a house, because it can just kill and save so much more time, to be honest with you.
That just sounds like more documents for me.
Well,
it does,
Just
but
kidding.
you know what? I can draft them. So,
A floodplain, a generator
Right.
plane. I'm just
generated.
kidding.
Well, but you
I'm
know, if they
kidding.
think,
I
if
think
you,
that's awesome.
yeah, if you start, and I've always been like this innovative mind thinker of like fixing the problem. Like we see that
Right.
this is a problem.
Right.
You know, we see that. I mean, I've been to a court enough. Thank you. That you see on the court steps, or you see people outside the court and they're crying and they're upset and they're like, well, da, 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 and you see
Doing
that.
the same thing.
And
Yeah.
all it is new actors and actresses, but living the same role. like playing out the same thing with different people.
Right.
And it's just a cycle.
It is, but I think it's because people think they have enough time, right? And then it's also taboo about opening their mouths to talk about it. So it's, I mean, I believe in God. I read the Bible. You know, we always say the power of the tongue is a thing, right? But God also gives us wisdom to have these conversations so we can prepare. And I think a lot of people are afraid to have the conversation. They've had trauma surrounding the conversation. Or they think, oh, I have time, I don't have to worry about it. I mean, I know a lot of people who are super young who think, I don't need an estate plan. And they've passed away unexpectedly and they've left alone a young child that they can't care for because they're no longer here. I mean, it's stuff like that that people need to start to have the conversations. And I think they don't get it until they're living it.
Well,
And then
that's
they
another
can.
part. Like, you know, when a person has a child or a baby, I mean, that should be something that the hospital already has it. You know, they're giving y'all this Similac and all this other mess that goes. And our producer just had a beautiful baby, y'all, by the way.
Oh, yay! Congratulations!
So he
He's
needs
like
a
in the
trust.
background.
Oh,
Like,
yes, you
here
need
we
a
go.
trust.
He needs a trust.
A trust and a
Trust.
kids protection plan
Right.
as well.
So, but it would be nice to have that piece of paperwork in the little take-home bag that they give you. You
That'd
know,
be good advertisement.
you
That
know?
is. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
You-
Jump ahead of the curve.
I should just have her come work for me. What do you think?
I know.
She's like, no.
She's good.
No, but it should be, because if you think about it, you just brought another life into this world, and anything can happen to you now. And so now you have a baby, plus you have to provide for this child. Plus now you have your house, and have you added the new baby that has come to the world with whatever else you got going on. So I just think putting things, maybe I just should run for president of the United States. No, I'm just
Oh my
You
gosh.
said that on camera.
I know, right? No, I don't want that. I have enough grays going on, but
Well, don't
no.
worry. You're
I
giving
would-
me ideas
I would like that.
to help him.
Right.
And help me. And
Yeah,
help
yeah,
you.
right.
And help everyone
That's
around.
right.
But you know what I'm saying? And when you're listening and looking at this podcast, you know, those are the things that's important. And maybe that's why our numbers are growing, because we're saying things that make sense,
Catches someone that
and it's catching somebody's mental, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
thought about that.
I never thought
Let
about
me
that.
throw something into the mix. You guys ready for that? You guys are not going to like this based on what you just said. So typically, if there's no guardianship designation in place by people doing an estate plan to ensure that their children go to where they want their child to go to based on who has the same value system as you do, how do you want to educate your child, all of those important things, right? They can also end up in CPS care. Because if, God forbid, let's say, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you leave a child at home with a babysitter. You give emergency contact numbers and it's just you, it's you and your spouse, right? They call you and your spouse and you're not able to answer the phone because you're in a car accident. You're not dead yet. You're just in the hospital. And the babysitter's like, oh my gosh, I don't know who to call. They're going to call 911, right? Call the police. Police come around. They're going to ask who has legal authority over these children. If there's nothing in place that you have provided, they're going to take the children and put them into CPS care until someone can get legal authority over the children. That's traumatizing to your children, because your children are like, I don't know where mom and dad is. I don't know where my parents are. What do I do about this? That's traumatizing to you as a parent, because you're sitting there laid up in a hospital and you can't do anything and you don't know where your kids are. And then you have to fight to get them back. That's traumatizing, right? So there are ways.
And you might not have the money at the time to fight to get them back.
Right.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
so
now you're paying hospital bills. You
Exactly.
can't get control of your kids.
Exactly. And then let's not even talk about the medical power of attorney. We don't even know if you
Yeah.
have that. And we don't know. There's so many things that are just so important that people do not realize until it's too late. And so I used to be a social worker taking the children. So I know exactly how this goes. So I'm trying to be on the other side of it. Let's take preventative measures to ensure this does not happen to your family, because you don't want to further traumatize them, right? So I have a whole kids protection plan that I do because I want to make sure that the kids are going to be just as protected as the parents, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I
That's
mean,
amazing.
trusts are the best way that you can give your kids any assets, because they can inherit property legally. So if people put their children on life insurance policies and all the things all the time, and it sounds good in theory because you're like, I want to give this to my child's going to get it, especially if it's like a divorced family or the parents don't get along. It sounds good in theory, but when you do that, they're a minor. They cannot legally inherit property. So there needs to be a trust in place for a child to get the benefit of whatever that money is. And if you do it that way and you don't talk to the right attorney, they're going to make you have to go through probate, and then you got to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and it takes money out of the estate for the kid. And it's a lot of work. So we don't have to make it a lot of work. We can make this very simple. You just have to have the conversation.
So I'll say this to the viewers. Okay, so the takeaway to this is somebody, if you're watching and you have family, somebody needs to take the leadership role. Like somebody needs to say, okay, I'm the one, y'all sit down. Y'all are going to listen to what I have to say because I watched this YouTube and this is, these are the things that we need to start talking about because you need to organize, pull back from a coffee a week or something and just save that money or do whatever you got to do. But these conversations are so important. Do you have anything else while we're getting ready to wrap up?
No, you said it all.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Good.
I mean, I almost feel like we have to have a part 2 of this, to be honest with you, because we haven't even
touched the surface.
We haven't even, I mean, I just took a little bit of the scab off. Like, you know what I'm saying? We haven't even said a lot other than get organized. Mm-hmm. And in today's time, with trying to be okay under the radar where I don't get somebody come after me, but our food is different. The way we live our life is different. Pollutions is different. And people don't be here all the time, like
not as
the
long as they used to.
Like the old days. So I did it in a very nice, simple way without saying it any other kind of way. But
I was pretty blunt about it.
But our lives are changing.
Yeah.
So we need to really make sure that we get things in order. And I've already started the process, but I almost feel like we need to have a part 2 due to the fact that there's things that I would love to dive into of having your home not even in your name.
Right.
Not even in your name. And what does that look like and why do you do it? And what does that mean?
Right.
So we might have to have you back on the show to do maybe a part 2.
I'm honored.
I know, right?
I didn't plan that at all.
Right?
It's like, that's all I can give you now.
But, with people watching, where can they reach you? I know you're in the Woodlands, but you have 2 different states. So this is viewed everywhere. So where can anybody reach you at?
Okay, so my law firm is High Easton Law Firm. You can find me on my website at higheastonlaw.com. You can call my office at 281-895-1721. You can email my office at info@higheastonlaw.com. You can find me on IG, Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn. Okay. I'm on LinkedIn. It's High Easton Law or High Easton Law Firm, either one. I'm on TikTok. I mean, I got to get better with my TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta buff this up a little bit.
Another job.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
But I call myself kind of the attorney of life, love, and legacy, right? I want to make sure that I'm protecting you during your life. I can protect your loves, and I can kind of help with that legacy process. And a lot of people also call me the bedside attorney because I travel to my clients' homes. So nice. I'm pretty all over the place. So it's really good. If you just want to contact me, you can go on my website under my contact us page, fill out all the information, and then either me or a member of my staff will be able to assist.
Y'all, let's keep let's keep her busy, okay? Because this is important. This is like legacy, legacy movement.
It's legacy building,
yeah,
right?
It really is. And give her a call. And I'm pretty sure if you're in another state watching and she doesn't service that state, that's fine. I'm pretty sure if you reach out to her, maybe she has a pool of people that she knows that she can, say, hey, call this attorney. I went to school with them. They do the same thing. So as we wrap it up, I just want to say, thank you for your time. Thank you for your views. Thank you for watching. As always, before we always sign out, I always tell everyone to stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and we will do the same, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.